Hello, this is Haley Jones, and this is my second negative video on developing the moon for resources with the US. Alright, so my opponent states that the resolution for going to the moon could be getting helium-3 and using it as a resource here on Earth. But he first states in his argument that we want to grow knowledge of the moon if we want to see a new world. You kind of explain that the whole purpose of going to the moon would be to see this new world and to learn more. But then you finish your argument and you finish your affirmative with saying that we're going there strictly to get resources and fossil fuels for Earth. Now, you're saying as a resolution that in turn we can minimize the US's debt or eliminate it, and you say also that we can retain income tax revenue. Although I have a couple of reasons why it will actually have an opposite effect. And there's things that you definitely forgot to mention, and there's factors that you never stated that are completely important. First, you never talked about how getting there will actually cost a lot. You talked about how it won't cost as much and solutions so it won't cost as much, but you forgot to realize that first of all, getting out of our atmosphere and getting to the moon will cost so much money. And even if the outcome is getting fossil fuels that will help us here, that still starts with a lot of money and reactions of people and costings in our taxes. Well, we'll never get to that solvency because there's just going to be a disadvantage there. So first of all, the reactions of people, they're not going to want to pay for this. You say, oh, well, a solution in turn will be that we might get the fossil fuels out of helium-3 to bring them to Earth and to help us. And you forget to mention, oh, but we're going to need a lot of money to do this first. And you don't realize that, oh, well, this might shock people. This could cause a depression, a recession before this even happens, and no one wants to go through that. Also, you forget to mention that this is going to be a continuous process. We don't just go to the moon once, get some resources, come back. They're obviously going to run out. We're going to need to create a system to continuously go to the moon and back. And I know you say that we could go there once, and we only need to pay for the cost of getting there once because of the fossil fuels, and then we don't have to worry about getting back. Obviously, we're going to need a backup plan. What if it fails? Are we just going to leave people on the moon to die? And that's another thing. Astronomers that are going to be staying up there, or even just for one mission, are going to need food, water, resources. You forget to mention the cost of that, which is actually a lot. If we're going to be sending people up there to mine, or even robot miners, it's just going to cost so much money that we're never going to get to the resolution. And then, as I said, this could lead to this plan that you have is just not plausible. It's not plausible because you're forgetting certain costs. You're saying, oh, we could just easily go to the moon. Yay, shrink national debt. No, that is wrong because it won't shrink national debt. There's no way to shrink the national debt if our costs exceed the amount that we are searching for. You also forget to mention, you're also failing to mention the fact that when we're using the fossil fuels here on Earth, that we're going to need to change the construction of what we are using them for. If it's cars, if it's engines, anything, we're going to need to change the structure of how we build those things and how we use the helium-3 to convert those. There's going to be a cost of that, and it's going to be a change to the U.S. in the way that we're doing this. If you say that this can, you actually mention that it will shrink the debt and retain income tax revenue, but what about if we're stopping this from other countries, we're stopping something that we're already used to? This is going to, not everyone's going to be on board with this because of how much of a shock it's going to be and how much it's going to cost and changing everything. So, in turn, you're contradicting yourself about this. And then getting back to your main point of, if we want to see another world, let's start with the moon first. And you also say about exceeding other galaxies. Like I said, you're going back to your first argument and saying, or toward the end you say, oh, well, this will really help Earth. How are we expanding our knowledge if all we're going to the moon for is helium-3? You start by saying that we want to learn, and you end by saying that we're just going to end up solving a money crisis here in the U.S. That does not make any sense there. And you say that mining the moon for fossil fuels will decrease the U.S.'s national debt. However, you're failing to mention that will cost us billions for the missions to the moon and the costs of staying there and continuing this system. This cost could trigger a recession or a depression. You're forgetting about people's reactions, the U.S.'s reactions, other countries' reactions. Other countries could want to be a part of this. You're forgetting that they could be one step ahead of us and that we could be wanting to pay them for resources as well. So your solvency is going to be stopped because of very many apparent disadvantages. Thank you for your time.